What's going on, everyone? So, according to Jake Weinbach, the Bulls are expected to listen to trade calls on Ayo Dosunmu this offseason following the acquisition of Isaac Okoro Dosunmu, who averaged 12.3 points and 4.5 assists per game on 49.2% shooting last season. Will be sitting on a $7.5 million expiring contract next season. If you're familiar with the channel and you're familiar with me, I have wanted Ayo for a couple years now, right? He is a young, versatile, athletic, two-way guy, right? Chicago is trying to unload the guards. We just saw them trade Lonzo Ball. Supposedly, they're shopping Kobe White. At the draft, there was multiple reports that, hey, they're shopping Lonzo Ball and they're shopping Kobe White. They want to get off of one, if not both, right? They're long-term, committed to Josh Giddey. They basically have an abundance of guards. They're going to have to start getting off of guys, right? Well, Kobe White, don't get me wrong, would be great. I wouldn't complain about having Kobe White. However, I look at him as more of a kind of sixth man, like go be your bucket getter, not really great defensively. He has his moments, and I do think if he kind of focused, he could be a good defender. He has the tools, but he's more of like that bucket getter. Let me go get you 20. To me, I look at him as more like that bench guy, that guy that can come in off the bench and go give you, he could be a Lou Williams type, just give you 20 a night off the bench, maybe win a couple six man of the year type things. Ayo Dosunmu is a guy that I could see slotted beautifully alongside Luka Doncic. Point of attack, good solid defender. He's 6'5", so he's 6'5", can defend multiple positions 1 through 3 for you. I think he's a guy that can come in, kind of play a role for you and be kind of that legit two-way guy. Obviously, Austin Reeves, he's going to be the guy at the 2. But again, one of the things that I've talked about very heavily, Lakers need athletes and ideally two-way athletes. Well, Ayo Dosunmu would be one of those guys. He is athletic. He is versatile. Lakers worked him out, by the way. But he's athletic. He's versatile. And he can shoot, defend, do a little bit of everything. He can play make, right? He's a guy that can do multiple things out there on the basketball court, chase down those loose balls, do the dirty work, make the hustle plays, all of that, right? You look at last year, 46 games played, 26 games started, 30.3 minutes per game, just under 10 attempts, 9.8 attempts. Shot 49.2% from the field. He has a career field goal percent of 50.2%. Three-point range last year was a little rocky. He was 32.8% on 4.1 attempts. However, the previous year with Chicago, where he actually got, started more games, played more games, all that stuff. He just was healthier, better. He got 40.3% from three-point range on 4 attempts. He is a career 36% three-point shooter on 3 attempts. Two-point percentage, last year was 61.2% on 5.7 attempts. EFG of 56.1%. Free throw shooting, he's a career 77.3% free throw shooter. Last year was 78.5%. The only reason he's 77 is because he shot 68% his rookie season. He was 80, 81, and then 78.5. So he's about a 78 to 80% free throw shooter based on the last 3 years. Rebounding, 3.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, a steal, half a block, and 12.3 points per game. He's a guy that, again, could be versatile. His per 36 doesn't tell you everything, but kind of gives you an idea of what he'd look like in a starting role. He would be 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and a half a block per game as a per 36 guy. He's a guy that I think would be fantastic for a team like the Lakers. He's versatile. He's young, right? He's 25 years old. He won't be 26 till midway through next season. And these are the kind of guys that you need, right? Cheap, young, versatile players that you can come in, bring in, and just be rotation players, right? What was the big thing that we saw that was the kind of the consensus this playoff run? Quick, athletic, versatile guards, because we're in a pace and space league, and to have kind of those relentless, just menaces out on the guard position, right? But you look at a team like the Thunder, right? It's a bunch of 6'2" to 6'3" guards, and they got a couple 6'5" guys sprinkled in, like Alex Caruso, Jalen Williams is, he's what, 6'6", 6'7", right? But he's you kind of go across the board. It's if the Lakers could get guys that are 6'5" and above, right, now you could kind of go those lineups. You could go with, an Ayo and have him out there who can also make plays, run the show, but also be that point of attack, run and match up with the guards, push the pace, kind of do different things, give you different looks, right? Lakers did a really good job of getting some young athletic wings in the draft and undrafted free agency, right? You got multiple guys that can come in, just kind of be bench depth. Can you go get a couple guys in free agency? Can you maybe trade for a guy or two? All of a sudden you look up and it's like Lakers might be in really good shape at that point, right? Like that's the thing that I want to see the Lakers get. I want to see the Lakers focus. What do you want alongside Luka, right? Outside of obviously a center, right? Center is the biggest thing, but outside of a center, what do you need? You want length, defense, and shooting. Right? You want athletes that can be around because Luka's not a good defender. He's not this hyper athletic player, right? He's more of just that crafty self-create. So when did Dallas have their most success? When they had guys like, Derrick Jones Jr. and these athletic wings that can do multiple things out there, that can play multiple positions for you and just give you that athleticism to run the floor and be high flyers and be lob threats, knock down the occasional three, do all that, right? You look at the kind of guys that the Lakers need if they want to kind of move into that realm. And I look at a guy like Ayo as one of those guys. Right? Ayo is a guy that can come in, be a young, athletic, two-way player that if he buys in and focuses, I do think can be much better than he is. Right? I think he has the potential to be like your starting two guard if you needed him to. I like the athleticism. I like the versatility. Right? He can play either guard spot, which is important. He can defend 1 through 3. You need those guys. Lakers need to continue to add these young, versatile athletes. And look, I might be higher on Ayo than many, right? But he's a very good basketball player, right? As like a rotation guy for the Chicago Bulls, he was a very good basketball player, right? But they just have so many abundance of guards and they're invested into so many different guards and all that stuff that it's like you got to kind of pick your poison at this point. To me, it really boils down to like, what is the cost? How much would it cost you to get him? Ideally, could you get like an Ayo and like a Jalen Smith, right? For like a backup center or something like that. Kind of combine, like get multiple guys. Because like Ayo taking on, $7.5 million is fine. But one, you're going to have to give him a new contract. What does he want with his new contract? 2, beyond the new contract, like Lakers guys are all like 10 to, 11 million. So could you maybe do something to where you're getting Ayo and something else to kind of stack up to maybe now you're giving up a Kleba and Shake Milton to match salaries and then giving up whatever assets you have to give up. Depends on what the assets are, right? Would a team like Chicago, would they be interested in a Dalton Connect? And would they look at it and go, hey man, Ayo and Jalen, Smith for Dalton Connect plus, maybe a Maxi Kleber, just give them floor spacing, big expiring contracts because they're also going to have to, pay guys and do all that stuff. Maybe throw in like a pick swap or something like that and, maybe you can get a deal done. I mean, they just traded Lonzo Ball. They just traded Lonzo Ball for a swap, right? Now, he was injury prone and there are a lot of question marks about that. So, that kind of got him in a way. But you also got to keep in mind, he only played 46 games last year. Now, in his defense, he played 77, 80, and 76. So it was last year an outlier, right? And, Chicago was tanking a little bit. Like, there's certain things in effect. But if I'm the Lakers, I'm pointing to that and going like, dude, the guy played 46 games last year and actually had a down year, right? Like, we're taking a risk here. He's got to get paid. Somebody's got to pay him, right? Like, we like him, but there's risks. There's things to it. And you kind of pump it up that way to where maybe the Lakers could get him at a reasonable price, add some youth, add some athleticism, add some defense, add some guys that can come in, solve some positions of needs. I don't hate it. Again, Lakers just got multiple forwards, right, that could come in and be young, youthful forwards, right? Eric Dixon, I think is NBA ready. I think you could slot him in right now into the Lakers rotation and he'd be fantastic. Dude, the Lakers bench was so bad last year. Eric Dixon by himself would probably be our best bench player last year, right? Like, because he just has the offensive versatility, right? So, and again, the Lakers were abysmal offensively. So I do think he's a guy that can slot in and do that, right? You went in and got Thero, and you recently got Arthur, and you got these athletic, versatile wings that can come in and slot in, right? So again, what do you need now? Some athleticism at the guard position. Bronny James is a guy that I think can provide that, but it wouldn't hurt to have another guy or two. It wouldn't hurt to have an Ayo. So now you got, 2 or 3 athletic wings. You got 2 or 3 athletic guards, all slotted alongside Luka that can play alongside Luka, play alongside Austin Reeves, kind of mask those guys when they're on the court, right? Now you just need some athleticism at the center position, and now you're cooking, right? Now the Lakers might actually be a really good team. I've talked about it. Lakers would, do wonders for the team if they just got some athleticism. Right? Obviously, you want guys that are two-way players. You want guys that can shoot and all that other stuff, ideally, right? But any guy that's a legit two-way guy, Lakers probably don't have the assets to get. Just getting athleticism alone, just pure athleticism alone, would do wonders for the Lakers, right? Getting guys that can actually compete, chase down loose balls, do the dirty work, rebound, all that stuff. Like, it would just, because again, you look at the Lakers right now, it's just like they have zero athleticism in the starting unit outside of LeBron James. When LeBron James at 40 is your most athletic player, it's a problem. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.